Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. Welcome. I am Agni James. That's my name, and I'm here to spread love and light to the world. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. That's why I teach meditation on Twitch. How's everyone doing tonight? It is 9:03 p.m. Central Time, or Chicago time, as I like to say. I figured I'd just pop on here and do a quick guided meditation, and then get the fuck out of everyone's way. That's my plan for tonight. Hey, One Sluggy's here. Good to see you, friend. How you doing, man? What's going on with you? You say you're tired. Dude. I was really tired a couple days ago, man. Like I'm usually a high energy guy. And then a couple days ago, I don't know what happened. I think I was coming down with something, but I just crashed out like real hard midday. It was pretty intense. I'm not used to feeling that, and it was pretty humbling. I was like, whoa, like this is what it means to be tired. I mean, normally I just don't sleep. That's kind of my thing. And who else is here? We have Christine the Bean. Christine the Bean. Hello, welcome. Welcome. How's everything going with you? What are you doing in this world today? How's your nephews doing? How's everything going on that end? I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. Has your father been okay? I know he was going through some difficult medical issues. I hope he's all right. You know, we'll send love and light his way. And Discernment Bugatti, otherwise known as Chad Guy. This man, let me tell you, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He comes from an interesting place. And he brings humor. He brings humor to all out here. Now he's talking about Manscaped shaving products came today. You got to groom downstairs. Yeah, that's the new thing, man. The new thing, right? You know, sometimes females appreciate that. You know, if this was like, 100 years ago, that would not be in. That would not be the thing. Like you'd probably not be appreciated if you did that. But it's a sign of the times, It's a sign of the times. I think it's perfect symbolism for what's been transpiring in the world these days, right? What's kind of funny about saying that? You could say anything is that. You could say like, yeah, I think like, petting my cat is perfect symbolism for the time, for what's going on in this world, or like, the cat letting the cat out of the bag is the metaphor of our century, right? It's like, what? No, it's not. It's not. You could pretty much say anything is anything, and then like, try to give some half-wit justification to boost up your viewpoint. But it actually isn't the case, though. It's not real. It's not reality. Okay. Anyways, I'm glad your dad is doing all right, Christine. Discernment, but God, you say I look intense. Do I look intense today? Maybe it's because the lights are off. I don't know. Do I look intense? Maybe we should do a poll. To see if I look intense. I don't know if I look intense. Like, I used to do a camping trip, and it was called the intense camping trip or something like that. Because we were all in a bunch of tents, but it was intense, and we were playing Risk. I used to. A lot of you don't know this, but I used to be an avid Risk player. I don't know how many you out there have played Risk, but I was in a Risk Federation, and we met every Monday, and I won the preseason. I won season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, and then our Risk division split off into 2 separate divisions, and then I won season 5. I temporarily lost season 6 because of a technicality, but then it was affirmed that I actually had won season 6, and then won season 7, and then that faded away. So yeah, Risk is a good game. You should all play Risk. I don't know if I look intense. Do I? I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I feel the same. Christine, you say, let's see. You got a couple short walks in today. One at Lyman Woods and later at Fullersburg. 2 walks, nice, double duty. You got both in. Well, that's important. That's awesome to get 2 walks, and I that's rare for me. I worked out 5 hours. Okay, this is kind of crazy, and I don't recommend this for everyone. But I'm now in the process where in the mornings I guess I work out 5 hours and 15 minutes. That's what happened today. I feel like I'm off center. I moved the monitor a little bit. Am I off center? Is that better? Maybe that's better. Maybe that's why I look intense. I think I moved the monitor. I don't know. I don't know. Am I off am I off center? My OCD is kicking in. That's another reason why we should meditate, because we all have mental health issues probably, and we should deal with that stuff. All right, where else are we at? Hey, moderately sized phallus is here. Welcome, friend. You say, how have I been? Ups and downs, man. Ups and downs. Let's see. I'll give you the negatives first. I'll give you the downs first. So, January 11th was the anniversary of my sister's suicide. So, it's a rough time of the year for me, right? Also, I'm wearing this bracelet right here. And I have this gem right here. This stone. One of my friends recently passed away, so the owner of her estate gave me these things, and I'm actually wearing her pants right now. She gave me this pair of pants, which I think are pretty cool. I'm wearing them in tribute of her. Basically, it's been rough for my friend group. We've all been kind of struggling. So those are the negatives, right? Life always has positives and negatives. Those are the negatives. On the plus side, my mom had hip surgery that went really well, so I'm grateful for that. She had 2 hip surgeries actually that went really well. She got them done a few months apart, and then work's been going really, really good. I got a big raise. I got a big raise at work, so that's pretty awesome. And then I've been hanging out with friends, and I'm in with this new group called Inspiritus Alchemy, and I've been going to these amazing guided meditations on Monday nights, which are fucking incredible. So yeah, there's a lot of positives and some negatives. That's just how life goes. Okay, let's see. Discernment Bugatti, you say you were terrified using it at first. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about manscaping. Yeah, I mean you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Now here's a story that I'm sure some of you might appreciate, some of you won't. Well, on my first attempt at manscaping, I got a little too close to the vein. The main vein. with the sharp blade. Let's put it that way. And I was bleeding for over an hour. Like I was thinking, fuck, this is gonna be embarrassing as hell. I'm literally gonna have to go to the hospital and be like, yeah, I cut my dick when I was trying to trim, when I was trying to do a trim. But then luckily after like an hour of pressure and cold compress, it stopped bleeding. So be careful. You don't take proper precautions when you have a blade down there. I was just being intense about it. I was like, I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna do this real quick. I'm just gonna fly through this shit. So that's my relate. By the way, that is that I just answered 2 of your questions. All right, Discernment Bugatti. I answered your question about manscaping, and I answered your question about relationship advice. All right, I answered both questions with one parable. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So that's life. I don't know. Do I feel more intense? Do I look more intense than usual? I think maybe I got to move the screen or the camera or something. I don't know. Maybe is it good to be intense? Is it better? What do you guys think? Is it better to be more intense or should I be less intense? All right. Anyways, Discernment Bugatti, you say, Christine the Bean, you say, Agni, no more intense than usual. Okay, so I'm not more intense, because I never know, because sometimes I feel like intense, sometimes I feel like I'm more intense than usual, especially when other people say stuff, because I don't really have a good objective gauge over my level of intensity, because I'm always pretty intense, right? I'll be sleeping and people be like, dude, you're intense, man. I'm like, dude, I've been sleeping the last 6 hours, and they're like, I know, but you were swearing and screaming at the world. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm intense, sometimes I'm not. Discernment Bugatti, you say, so you've been seeing this new girl. Apparently your friends think she's not your girlfriend because you're paying for everything. Is it odd? You make a lot more money and she's a college student, age 22, and you're 34. I don't think that's pretty odd. I mean, if you're paying. That's just how it goes with relationships. Sometimes you're the one paying. At least in my experience, there have been times where I've been the one paying for pretty much everything, and then there have been times where the other person's been paying for me. like for pretty much everything. Like in my early 20s, there was like a period of time where I had very little money, and I was dating a girl who had like a full-time job, and she was making pretty good money in the medical field. So yeah, at that moment, in time, I was actually, she was paying for most of the stuff, right? So, I don't know, it can go either way. And then, so, usually it's kind of like in between, it's in between, depending on the situation. But your friends think she's not your girlfriend. Now that's kind of weird that your friends would think that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know I don't know your other friends. I only know like your friends in chat and like in here and in Aristotle's stream. And maybe some of the ones from Toad's stream. I don't know your IRL friends. Your in real life friends, man. So like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that she's definitely your girl. If she says she's your girlfriend and you're like dating her and you're like spending time with her and all that, and you say you agree that she's your girlfriend, then she's your girlfriend. Who cares what they say, right? Okay. Moderately sized phallus. You say, sorry to hear about your sister and your friend, man. Hope you heal with them. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm glad your mom is well and that you got a raise. What sort of guided meditations do they do? I have extremely little experience with meditation, but you came across some Monroe Institute stuff recently, and they were interesting, both or not. So I'm always perfectly honest about everything on stream, except when I'm being like, sarcastic or whatnot. Yeah, I've never heard of the Monroe Institute. I don't know anything about that. The meditations that I do on here are typically focus on the breath. That's like the main thing, and then we do some visualizations. The main component of the meditation is simply to, first of all, to find a centered, grounded place within you, and to slow down and come into that place. I like to come out here intense because I can show people you can be intense within the world when you're out, doing your job or playing sports or, doing whatever you're going to be doing, right? But then you can rein things in and go internally to the place of peace and love in your hearts. And that's important. The reason why that's important is because plenty of times in life we get stressed, right? We get stressed, we get upset, things happen in the external world that cause us all sorts of issues. But we need to be able to regain composure when those things happen. At least it helps. It will help us, right? And if you learn in meditation that you can go within to this place of peace and love inside you, and it's always there, just waiting to be able to be accessed, then you can do that in the external world. Now, is it easy? No, it can be incredibly difficult at times, but you want to try to be able to come within to that place of peace and love and joy and actually feel that connection. And a huge shout out for Aristotle. Thank you so much for the raid, man. That is super kind of you. Aristotle is a phenomenal human being. Okay, I just have a lowly master's in philosophy. He has a full-on PhD in philosophy. He is a streamer here on Twitch. He is a college professor. He literally is a college professor, right? So this guy's he's like legit. He's as legit as they come, right? So big shout out to Aristotle. Definitely check him out. Drop him a follow. How are you doing tonight, man? I had the privilege and honor of actually hanging out in Aristotle's stream right now. I think I still am in there, actually. I think I'm still lurking in your stream. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's my face. There's my face now. It's weird when someone raids you when you're lurking in their stream, and then you go back and you're just like looking at your face, except there's a little bit of a delay. But anyways, yeah, check out Aristotle, drop him a follow. You could talk about anything. I mean, we've had discussions about deep-seated metaphysical issues about the foundational nature of reality, and we've also talked about who's got the biggest cock in the room, right? So you never know what you're going to run into in his stream. It's good to see you, man. Welcome in, dude. How did your stream end up finishing, dude? How's everything going? I hope all is well. Okay, let's see. We got a lot going on here. I think I just missed a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Where are we at here? Where are we at here? Oh yeah. Okay. So moderately sized fallacy. You say hemi-sync stuff, playing certain frequencies. Oh, in each of your ears to sync the brain waves of your hemisphere. Interesting. You don't know how much merit the method has outside of some studies that have been done with people under anesthesia. I don't know. I've never studied the Monroe Institute. I know nothing about it. I'll be the first to admit my ignorance. I'm pretty much ignorant about everything, right? But I won't profess that I know much about things. I know a few things about chess because I'm a chess instructor in real life. That's what I do for a living. I know a few things about philosophy, because I spent a lot of time studying that. I know a few things about going within to the place of peace and love inside me and sharing that love with others, because I feel that's like literally the most important thing you can do as a human being is just being a kind person to the people around you. Like people forget that. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to like, I don't know, live, right? And a lot of times it's, you can always do like simple little shit, like smile at someone, like be like, hey, that was like the worst smile ever. Like actually don't do that smile, the one I just did, because if you do that smile, then people will actually run away from you. Give them I guess I can't smile on stream unless it's genuine. I don't know how to, and the funny thing was I was an actor. I was a child actor and model, but now I forgot how to smile. Like I forgot how to do a fake smile. But basically all I'm saying is, just try to be kind to people. Aristotle, you say, could run into profound truth, could run into throbbing. Exactly, dude. By the way, your stream tonight was awesome. I like the part that I was there for was pretty amazing, man. You guys were going deep. You were going deep in how to make a difference. We were talking about, whether Elon Musk should try to give all his money to help feed the world, right? To help all the people that are starving. The people in Africa who have mosquitoes walking on their eyeballs. It's like, think about them. It's like, you think you're having a rough day? Imagine if you literally had mosquitoes walking on your eyeball and that was a daily occurrence. You got 1 grain of rice to eat each day and you had a mosquito on your eyeball at all times. On a bad day you had 5 mosquitoes on your eyeball. On a good day you only had 1. That's your existence, right? But yeah, King Doctor, welcome to the chat. Welcome in, first time chat. It's good to see you, friend. I hope you're doing well. My name is Agni James. Oh yeah, those of you who don't know me, my name is Agni James. I'm a low-life Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I'm a low-life Chicagoan who has a master's in philosophy, so I like to discuss philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics. Those are the areas of philosophy that I find most interesting. And then also, I'm a chess instructor, IRL. So I play chess. I do chess lessons on here, but most importantly, I run guided meditations and I teach people how to go within to the place of pure love and joy within us, and to find that love and joy. Because if we don't have that, if we don't go into that place, then how can we actually be nice to others? It's like if you're sick, if you're really sick and in a lot of pain, think about how much more difficult it is to be kind to the people around you, right? If you want to see someone who's attacking everyone, maybe verbally and even physically, right? Usually they're not a very happy person, right? So maybe we need to focus on trying to teach people self-care techniques such that they can more easily help those around them and be kinder to those around them. Okay, Ann Fernal's here. Big shout out to Ann Fernal. Okay, there, yeah, the shout out already came out. Good. Ann is a streamer here on Twitch. And someone who I love hanging out in her stream as well. She is a wonderful human being. And she's from Ecuador, so I call her exotic. I don't know why I do that, but I just assume you're exotic because you're from a place that's other than the U.S. If you're not from the U.S. and Canada, I'm just gonna think you're exotic because I'm an ignorant American. Leave me alone. That's what I am. All right, at the end of the day. But anyways, yeah, she does a lot of gaming and she's just got a nice vibe. She's got a good chat. Check her out. Drop her a follow. And then someone else was here. Oh, we have Imbalanced Physique. Imbalanced Physique is here, man. I missed you. Somewhere along the lines, we had a lot of excitement all at the same time, and I missed you. Welcome in. It's good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Imbalanced Physique started out as a fitness streamer on Twitch, and now he has gone into the tarot realm. So he does tarot on He does tarot on stream. So check him out. If you're into the tarot scene and astrology, he's got a good vibe going over there. And the cool thing about him, he's just a super authentic, genuine dude. I know I always say that about you, Imbalance, but like it's just the truth, man. It's like when I see you, you just know he's speaking his heart, he's speaking his mind. There's no pretense, nothing there. All right. Anyways, where are we at here? King Doctor, you say, hey, Evolve, you've been practicing offering yourself 20 seconds of bravery to deal with difficult, hard situations, calls, emails, etc. Do you have any other words of wisdom? So interesting, offering yourself 20 seconds of bravery. I've never heard that phrase, but because it's in quotes, I'm assuming it's probably something well known. And I'm assuming you're saying something like, kind of like, being brave to not allow yourself to get caught up in some emotional, baggage, right? And some ego dynamics, because it's pretty easy to get caught up in ego dynamics. When I was a young kid, I was always getting in fights. I was always having issues, with people would like be, wanting to fight me. And then I'd like, I don't know, I'd want to fight them, I guess, at some point. But like, you get older and then you're like, what, this is kind of stupid. I mean, Henry Rollins, by the way, everyone out there should know who Henry Rollins is. If you don't know who Henry Rollins is, go look him up. Henry Rollins, he was in Black Flag. He was lead singer of Rollins band. He was, he's just like this big badass, but he's also like a really intelligent, pretty cool dude, right? Henry Rollins was talking about a fist fight he got in at a bar once. Some guy like came up and like was starting shit, and then the guy like punched Henry Rollins, and Henry Rollins like just jacked him and he knocked him out, right? So he won the fight, but in the process of hitting the guy's skull, like I guess he like messed up his knuckle, and his knuckle's been like hurting ever since, and that was like 20 years ago, right? His knuckle is like, he's been in pain, he's had knuckle pain for 20 years. So he's like was it really worth it? Was it really worth knocking this guy out and having like knuckle pain for 20 years, right? So keep that in mind, right? Even if you win the fight, I mean, it still might suck, right? There still could be repercussions. All right, let's see, where else are we at in chat? So anyways, do I have any advice? King Doctor, you were asking. Well, my wisdom is simply just try to take a step back if you can. Like, try to take a step back and just try to take a few deep breaths. That's it. If you can manage taking just a few deep breaths and just not getting like super caught up in the situation and realizing like, hey, you know what, this situation sucks. Maybe this person's trying to bait you into a fight. Maybe they're trying to, bait you into something. You never know. People always have weird shit that they're trying to do. Maybe they're saying some passive aggressive comments, and you're like, you're trying to debate whether you're gonna respond or not. If you can just take a few deep breaths and just kind of go within the place of pure love and joy that exists within each of us, and identify with that joy. Then you'll be less likely to get engaged in their ego battle, right? In their ego struggle or whatever it is that's causing you pain, right? Because in the external world, in this world, right, we always have crazy shit that's happening. It's like someone could just come up and key your car, right? You never know, right? Crazy shit happens. So I was once going through a green light, and some dude had been chasing this other guy like through 3 towns. So this other guy's like stopped at the red light. This guy catches up to him and just smashes him, rear ends him from 80 miles an hour into rear ends the guy. That guy flies into the middle of the intersection and smashes my car while I'm going through a green, and I spin around like a top like this. And my car's totaled. My friend has broken ribs sitting in the passenger seat. I think I'm paralyzed because I can't turn my head. And like, then I got this other dude comes by in the intersection and is like screaming at me to get out of the intersection. My car can't even move. And it's like fucking crazy, right? It's crazy, right? And this dude's like screaming at me to move because he's going to be late to see his girlfriend. And I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm paralyzed. My car is broken in the middle of the intersection, and you're telling me to fucking move? And like, dude, like, you're going to be like a few minutes late to see your girlfriend? Chill the fuck out, dude. like talk about having no compassion, right? But anyways, so the world is crazy. So what, at any given moment, you can realize this. And choose to not allow it to affect you as much. Thank you so much for the raid, Shane McInnes. Super appreciated. We just got a double raid. Aristotle, thank you so much for the raid. Shane McInnes, thank you so much for the raid. These are two top-notch people, and I'm not saying this just because they rated me, but I hang out in their chats. They're wonderful human beings. I get a lot of academics that come through here, but we got Vipers here. We got Aristotle. We got Shane McInnes. Shane is just an awesome dude. He does all sorts of stuff. He does history lessons in his streams. He does like models and all sorts of cool stuff. Just a really nice, and he's another authentic human being. You know, there's no pretense. He's not on there like trying to act like someone else. He's just giving it to you like it is, and he's speaking his mind, and he's a kind human being. Unless he's like the ultimate deceiver in the world, and I can't judge it. But no, I'm a pretty good judge of character. So check out Shane. Drop him a follow. Thank you so much for the raid. Super appreciative. I'm super appreciative of that. Those of you who don't know me, my name's Agni James, and my primary goal in not just the streams, but in life is to help those around me. And what I do is I come on here and I teach people how to go within to a place of pure love and joy within via the mechanism of meditation. I'm also a firm believer in yoga, in qigong, kumnae. I like tai chi, all that kind of stuff. I'm not really huge into tai chi. I've never really done much. Like, I'm not an expert, but the other things I know a lot more about. And then I also am a chess instructor. I do chess streams where I give chess lessons and I play games against people. And then I have a master's in philosophy. And I like talking about philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics. Those are my three areas that I really enjoy. So we do philosophy streams on here as well. So welcome in. This is great. I have pretty much like the entire Twitch crew here right now. This is pretty heartwarming. Thank you all so much for coming in and for choosing me to raid. I'm just this low, this small time streamer here, and I got the big dogs like giving me a raid. Thank you so much for the follow. Baba Boy 33_7, much appreciated. And by the way, I know I missed some people earlier with the follows. Thank you all so much for all of you and all the support. I really appreciate you. It's super kind of you to follow. Just hang out in here. If you like it, you like it, and if you don't, then unfollow and leave. That's just how it goes. I just am grateful that you're all here, and we're gonna do a meditation pretty soon. But so King Doctor, getting back to your question, in order to deal with difficult, hard situations, calls, emails, etc., I would just say focus on your breath. Keep it real simple. That's what I do, at least. You'll have weird shit happen. Like for instance, when I got the phone call, I was chilling. I was playing a game called Azul. I'm big into tabletop games, and there's this game called Azul, Azul, that I've been playing on Board Game Arena, and I've been crawling up the ranks, and I've been beating people in the top 100. So it's pretty awesome, right? So it feels great, right? And I was in the middle of a game, and I got this call about a month ago. And it was a friend of mine, but it was like 2 a.m. I was like, whoa, that's weird. He's calling it, or he's calling at 2 a.m. What's up? And he's like, yeah, your friend Holly just died, right? And I was like, holy shit, Holly's dead, right? So, and by the way, I'm wearing this in honor of her. This is Holly's bracelet. This is a gem from her collection. She was the person in charge of her estate gave out one stone to each person that she was friends with, and I'm even wearing her pants right now. She gave me a pair of Holly's pants. I wear all this in tribute to her. So I got this call, and of course I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh, my friend is dead. My friend just fucking died. It's like my opponent's like, screaming at me for not making a move in Azul, and I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, well, now my friend is dead. This is great. And so, I immediately, I was like, well, like shocked. I'm shocked. I'm like talking on the phone. I was like, what do you say in a situation? It's pretty difficult. You're like, how? What happened? And they're like, we don't know. Someone did a wellness check on her, and apparently she was just getting up to go to work. She was standing by her closet and just collapsed, and now she's dead. So, like, what did I do? I just took a few deep breaths and was just, and that's pretty much all you can do in a situation like that. You take a few deep breaths and you just you try to compose yourself. You try to regain a certain level of composure. And yeah, and then I thought, okay, how can I help? How can I help? So, then I was like, okay, who do I know that was close to her that my friend who just informed me about this, doesn't know. So I started thinking of those people and thinking of, how I was going to contact them and communicate the news to them, and, how we were going to organize things, for her. And that's just the way it goes, right? And that's life. But here's, the older you get, the more people around you die. I come from Chicago, and those of you who don't know, all the heroin from the U.S. comes up from Mexico, is smuggled in Chicago, and then Chicago sends it off throughout the country. That's welcome to America. Welcome to Chicago, right? Yeah, I'm from Chicago, and a lot of my friends have overdosed and died on heroin, or have ended up in jail, or all fucked up in other ways, right? One of my best friends growing up was like, had a high moral standing, super amazing dude. And like, next thing you know, he's pawning his mom's wedding ring. It was fucking crazy, right? Like, weird shit happens when people get addicted to crazy drugs. Aristotle, you were talking about that in your stream, about the different drugs and stuff like that, and like the decriminalization. And yeah, I agree. I think things should be decriminalized, but I think like you said, I think we also need to pump money into into like rehabilitation and to getting to the root cause of why people are getting addicted, right? Because if you feel like really happy and joyful already within, you're a lot less likely to become addicted to like heroin, right? That's like, at least that's what I found. But it's people who are like, in a lot of emotional, and mental anguish, I found at least that tend to get, more addicted to stuff, because it solves those problems. It's like, hey, I'm going to temporarily solve all your problems. It's like, you think you have problems with anxiety, you think you have problems with depression, you think you have problems with with OCD. I'm big in OCD. I'm fucking bipolar. I have OCD. I'm a mental health nightmare, right? Why do you think I meditate every day? Why do you think I do yoga? Why do you think I do qigong? Why do you think I do kumnae? Why do you think I spend so much time taking care of myself? Why do you think I help others so much? Because I know what it's like to be a complete train wreck, and I want to at least like show others that, hey, you can overcome some of the shit. I'd be the first to say like, that it's not easy, and that I have not overcome a lot of issues. It's like, but that's part of life, right? It's part of life. We do what we can, and Aristotle, you were talking about that today in your chat too. You do what you can. You can do little things. You can give people smiles. You can be a little kind to someone when you can. Just little acts of kindness really go a long way. So keep that in mind. Okay. But yeah, Aristotle, you say shit, man. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's tough when that kind of shit happens, right? All right. Anyways, where else are we at in chat? I'm always missing stuff here. All right. Aristotle, let's see. Anford, you say not all his money, only like 20 billion. Yeah, I mean, that's not even asking much out of Elon, right? Don't give all your money away. Just give 20 billion, because what is he like? I don't know. At one point before Tesla crashed, he was at like close to 100 billion, I think, somewhere up there. I don't know. Maybe he's like what, 50 or 60 billion now. Since Tesla dropped 50%. But yeah. King Doctor, you say, hey, you're not far away from me. You're in Minneapolis. Okay, yeah, you're not far. Yeah, I'm in Chicago, Minneapolis, where I don't know. That's a pretty close distance. It's not like you're in Ecuador, like Anne. Like, if I wanted to go visit Anne, like that would be something that would require way more planning than going to like Minneapolis. By the way, my friend who got addicted to heroin, who pawned his mom's wedding ring, he actually got his shit together. He was able to kick heroin. He had a wake-up call. The vein in his arm got infected, and he had to go to the hospital, and they had to like remove like some disgusting part of it and like put like a tube in there or some kind of fucked up shit like that. But anyways, after that, like he was somehow able to kick heroin. He got married in Minneapolis, and I was the best man in his wedding, and it was great. we just, and then he ended up moving to Las Vegas, and he's like the general manager of a Dave and Buster's. He always had a tough time because he wasn't good at school. He had a hard time, with jobs and stuff like that, but he was able to get all his shit together. I love hearing success stories. I love when people are able to kick some, nasty drug and go off and have a good solid life, have a good, get married, have a family or whatever, or have a good job they enjoy, So yeah, King Doctor, you say that's fucking awesome. Well, yeah, he did it. He was able to kick all that stuff. All right. And you say, let's see, the best you can do to help people as much as you can, but knowing you might not solve their problems, it's not your job to solve them. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Exactly. You don't want to get there's a common tendency for people, like I'm a helper, like I try to help the people around me, right? And then I get kind of stuck sometimes where it's like I'm like trying to help them solve their problems, and it's like, and if you ever like are offering advice to people, usually they don't want to hear it. People like the most common thing in the world is someone will come up to you and be like, hey, I want some advice, and then you start like giving them advice, and then they're like, no, I don't want any of that. I don't want that advice. You're like, what? You're like, they're like, yeah, I'm addicted to heroin. I want some advice. You're like, okay, we'll stop using heroin. And they're like, no, I don't want that advice. I want to just use it less. It's like, no, dude, just no. That's not it, right? Like people want advice that corresponds to what they already want you to say, right? They have this preconceived notion in their head of what they want you to say, and then they'll finagle words to try to get you to say what the exact advice they want you to give them, right? So I think it's best to know exactly what they want you to say, and then just like assuming it's not the best advice, just really give them the real advice of what you should say, right? Be truthful. Be truthful. Don't tell them what they want to say. Tell them the hard truth. Yeah, exactly. Going along with what you say, and all you end up is feeling like rubbish because you couldn't do much because now the weight is on you. Exactly. Then then all that burden, all that shit gets on you, and it's rough. This happens to me all the time. I have I'm going to be perfectly honest in here. One thing you will always get from me is open, honest, genuine communication. I tend to be very abrasive as fuck at times, actually. A few years ago, I decided this, like 2000. So I'd gone to grad school. I got my master's in philosophy. And then I got out, and I was kind of just like I was burned out with academia. I didn't really want to go that route anymore, and I was kind of thinking about what I was going to do with my life. I started drinking lots of coffee and writing poetry, and that was like a lot of fun, right? And then I decided I was gonna be that I was kind of like a little bit of a sham. I decided I wasn't always speaking my truth. I would say things that people wanted to hear. Just to make social situations pleasant, right? Because if you're in a social situation and you have a bunch of people and like you're really empathetic like I am, right? I would just, I'd be like, oh, this person like is going to have a conflict with this person. Well, I might as well prevent that, prevent that conflict from occurring by introducing X, Y, and Z into the conversation such that they're going to be talking about this other thing as opposed to this thing that's going to lead to like them getting in a fist fight, right? So I was always kind of doing shit like that, right? I'm a chess player, so I'm always thinking ahead with that kind of shit. So then, anyways, one day I decided this isn't real. This isn't real. I'm not speaking my truth. So I started speaking my truth, and it was I started being pretty fucking abrasive, to be honest, right? And yeah, I lost a lot of friends. I lost some, not a lot, but I lost some friends. I pissed people off. By the way, here's one thing you want to do if you ever want to piss off a lot of people. Go on social media and start telling everyone that you think all babies are ugly. That's one thing I did because that's my personal opinion. And now everyone's going to leave and everyone's going to hate me probably here too. My personal opinion is that I don't find babies cute. I'm sorry, I don't. I've never found a single baby that is cute. Now, okay, that you think that's fine, right? It's like oh, I don't like pizza, or I don't like this piece of artwork, right? But if you go online and start saying you think babies are not cute, people get fucking pissed. People lose their shit, and everyone's like, wait a minute. Okay, so here's the conversation that went down on Facebook, right? And I, of course I did it on Facebook, right? Because I'm a fucking classy guy. I was like, all right, I'm gonna start speaking my mind. Here's from now on, if I said something like, if you might be offended, I understand it if you unfriend me right now, that's totally cool, but you're probably there's a decent chance you might be offended because I'm gonna start speaking my mind. Everyone's like, yeah, Agni, you're gonna speak your mind, whatever, right? And so like, then I came out with a post and I was saying my personal opinion is that I don't think babies are cute. I think all babies are ugly, right? I had a fucking like swarm of mothers come in, like mothers. I'm talking like mothers, they got the little ones, the tiny little ones that look really fucking weird, right? They got those ones, so these mothers swarm in and they're like, "What? You don't find babies cute? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Right? And they're on me. It's like, I was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, I think babies are weird looking alien creatures. Like, what the fuck, right? Exactly. Aristotle, man. You said maybe babies shouldn't look like aliens, just out of a blood bag. Yeah, right? It's crazy. Like, yeah, look at this. The viewer count's already dropping, right? People are like, we're getting the fuck out of here. This is a good lesson for everyone to learn though. I went through this, right? So some of my friends who were like who had newborns and shit were like on me. They're like, "So you think all babies are ugly?" And I was like, "Yeah, my claim was all baby. Personally, my personal preference is that the external characteristics of babies is such that they're ugly. I don't find them cute at all, right?" And they're like, and then they all started saying, "Well, what about my baby? What about my baby? Do you think my baby's ugly?" And I was like, okay, let's do some logic here. Agni thinks all babies are ugly. You have a baby, therefore, and like, dude, the whole fucking world lost their shit. The whole world lost their shit. Oh my God. It's like I might as well have been Adolf fucking Hitler. Like, I was worse than Hitler in that moment. You would not believe how much hate started pouring my way. Like, I'm really sensitive to energy to begin with. Like, all of a sudden there was like a tidal wave of fucking negative energy coming my way, and like everyone was just jumping on the bandwagon. And and then I had some friends that were like, yeah, dude, I agree. Like, I've never had the courage to say that because I don't want to piss people off, but yeah, I don't think babies are cute. Like, what the fuck? And that like started infuriating people even more. Like, people like lost and these are completely rational people. These are people that are like, like accountants and like, logical, fucking people. And then they're just like losing their shit. And it's like, dude, this is my personal opinion about like, the preference of an aesthetic quality. Like, why are you losing your shit? I'm not saying I'm not saying babies are evil or bad or like something like that. I'm not saying your baby is bad. I'm just saying I think that the physical characteristics of babies are not attractive. That's it. And like, these people are like ready to like fucking like, stone me to death. All right. Anyways, yes, Noger, you're right. Cancel Agni. Oh, big shout out to Noger. Noger does something on Twitch that no one else does. Noger reads full-length philosophical journal articles and introduces philosophy to the masses on Twitch. It's amazing. It's amazing. And he's not just reading like one or two. Like, I could see like someone doing like one or two as like a gimmick. No, he's reading like the entire article on Twitch, and he's giving analysis. He's critiquing the articles. He's finding faults. Sometimes supporting what they have to say. Usually you're more fault finding, but that's what we do as analytic philosophers. We like to cut things up, right, and be like, hey, this fucking author is like an idiot, right? Here's some flaws in their argument. I deny premise two, right? Fuck premise two. Premise one's okay. Premise 3, yeah, I'm on board with, but fuck premise 2, right? Therefore this is not a sound argument, right? Anyways, check him out, drop him a follow, super awesome dude. But yeah, anyways, lesson learned, if you want everyone to hate you, start saying if you don't find babies attractive. All right, where else are we at here? Okay, Pink Lady. Okay, first time chat. Let's. I would like to give you some attention. We say it's difficult to smile when Elon Musk is not giving his money to help people honestly. Yeah, I mean, that's an argument, right? That's a huge argument. That's a huge debate, right? And then there's another debate, right? It's like, well, should everyone be required to give all or most of their money to help other people, right? It's like, I mean, my personal opinion is like, I think, yeah, because people are fucking starving to death, but like, at the same time, like, not, I don't like, it's like, it's weird. It's one of those things that neither way sits right with me. It's like, yeah, watching the person who's watching like the 3-year-old baby in Africa who's got eyeballs or mosquitoes walking on their eyeballs, eating 1 grain of rice a day. That's not cool, right? I'm not into that shit. I don't want to see that kind of stuff happening, right? But at the same time, it's like, what about someone who's like born in poverty and like, works their whole fucking life trying to achieve some goal, and like ends up making like, a shit ton of money, like, and that's like their goal. That's like all they fucking care about, like, and they've risen out of poverty, and it's like, and then should we say like, let's take away like, I don't know, 80% of their wealth? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that seems a little rough, on them to a certain extent, right? If their whole life they spent, like they were poor, like, through like 0 through like age like 70, and then finally they achieved their goal and they want to just have it for like 5 years before they like die or something, like, I don't know, maybe they should be able to have it for like a few years. But I know that's kind of like that's kind of a weird that's a pretty terrible example, right? But it's rough to say that someone, it's rough to try to say that someone else should have to do something, but like at the same time, people are starving to death, right? So there are no easy answers. Let's see. Okay. All right. Yeah, Noger, you said premise 2 can get fucked. It's always premise 2, right? Premise 1 is usually fine. Like, I have no problems with premise 1, but premise 2 is just garbage. It's fucking garbage. I don't want to ever see premise 2 again, and I'm going to attack the fuck out of premise 2 so hard that this whole argument is going to crumble, right? Hey, Vito9109, welcome into to the stream. I'm Agni James, and I'm here to spread love and joy. It might not sound like it with what I'm saying today, but like that's actually like why I'm here, basically to show people that despite what is ever going on in the external world, despite all the chaos and confusion, we can go within to the place of pure love and joy, find our center, find that love and light, take it outward, and share it with the people we encounter. And that's one way we can make a difference. I'm not saying it's the only way, but it's definitely one way we can make a difference. Just being kind to the people around you. And you can be intense. You can be intense during your day, right? You can, like, I'm an intense guy, like, right? I'm always like, I'm usually a pretty high energy guy doing whatever I'm doing, right? You can be intense, but it's also nice to slow down and feel that love and joy. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy, right? I'm not saying that, but Agni, when you're getting tortured to death, it's pretty hard to be peaceful and calm and in a state of perfect bliss. And I'm not saying you should just sit there with that perfect bliss and that perfect love and not do anything with it. I would never advocate that. And let's be clear on this. Let's be crystal fucking clear on this, because this is a criticism that I've been facing for quite some time. People are like, oh, you just want to go in and feel that love for yourself. You just want to go in and feel that peace and joy and let the whole world burn. Absolutely not. What I'm advocating is you go in to access that love and joy. You remember that it's within you, and then you can share it with the people around you. And that's the whole point. Because if everyone starts doing that, if I can spark that love and light within you, and then you go and you remember that love and light within yourself, and you go and spark that love and light within the next person, then they do it with the next person, then the world becomes a better place. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want happier people. We want people who are not suffering as much. If you're happy, you're going to be less likely to fucking be a greedy motherfucker and take $90 billion and hold on to it, because you're going to be more empathetic and you're going to care more about the people around you, because you're going to realize that they're just like you, that deep down at the foundational level, you're the same. So my metaphysics holds, and you don't have to believe you do not have to believe my metaphysics. I would never say you need to believe anything that I say about my metaphysics. That's just stuff that I've come up with for my own personal, development and growth. A lot of people believe similar stuff, and whatever you believe is fine. Now, but even if I'm wrong, it's my metaphysics is cool because all it means is that you're try to be a nice human being to people around you. So that's kind of neat, right? So there's utility. There's a lot of my metaphysics has a tremendous amount of utility because even if I'm wrong about everything, because I hold that our foundational essence is pure love, and that everyone around us has the same foundational essence. That is pure love. So that at the foundational level, we're the same. I'm the same as you. You're the same as me. Therefore, if we're the same, how should I treat you? I should treat you like I want to be treated. I should be kind to you. I should be loving to you. I should be courteous to you, right? And Aristotle made this point earlier when he was talking about stuff that I talk about. I'm not saying that, we shouldn't lock up someone who's, stabbing people in the streets. But I'm saying if they're stabbing someone in the streets, we can lock them up and be kind and compassionate to them at the same time. We can have feelings of kindness and compassion. We can have jails that aren't starving people to death. We can create situations that are better for these people who are troubled. Because if they're stabbing someone in the streets, most likely they're probably not happy, right? There's probably a problem going on within them. They probably feel inner turmoil. So anyways, my metaphysics holds that our foundational essence is love and that we should share it with others. And that's what we do in these meditations. All right. Anyways, Viper, as you say, opportunity is its own form of wealth. Interesting. You've got love and light inside. All I've got is turds. Yeah, well, you know what? That happens, right? That happens. That happens to me too sometimes. Sometimes all I have inside of me is turds. When that is the case, I kind of alchemize it, right? I just go in there, I usually go elbow deep. I don't like to go any farther than elbow deep. Some people are into going shoulder deep. I go elbow deep into the turds, and just see if I can kind of arrange them in a form that's a little bit better, right? Because if you arrange the turds in a certain form, then they actually turn into love and light, and then you can share that love and light with everyone around you. Shoulder deep is crazy. Now we're just talking madness. All right. Let's see. So anyways, Vito 9109. Yeah, we talk about all sorts of stuff in here, but primarily the focus is guided meditation, and that's what we're going to hop into in just a moment. Just make sure I'm caught up with everything in chat. We have a lot of great streamers here. Again, thank you, Aristotle. Thank you, Shane McInnes. And then all my streamer friends in here, Imbalanced, Noger, Ann Fernal, everyone should just fucking go and drop them a follow and just and help them get more more views because they do good work. They're good people and they care. They absolutely care. So yeah. All right. Anyways, King Doctor, he said you learned it from a TED Talk. Forget her name, but he's an incredible speaker. You used to have a horrible phone call anxiety, and now you just give yourselves 20 minutes of bravery. You only need to be brave for 20 seconds. 20 seconds of bravery. You only need to be brave for 20 seconds, and everything that is almost guaranteed to be easy. I love that. That's awesome advice. That's super wise. Yeah, that's super wise. Huh. Well, whoever she is, she's a super wise person. You're right. If you can calm yourself for like 20 seconds, if you can do that, if you can muster up the strength to do that, I mean, you can change a lot. You can really make a difference in this world. To be honest, you've never thought about identifying with your happiness and your joy. You're naturally calm and happy, but you've never identified with it. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, everyone's got their own metaphysics. Everyone's got their own foundational beliefs that they hold. And, it's basically a combination of genetics and your environment and, the different things you thought about in your life. And our foundational beliefs are constantly changing depending on how open you are, right? I'm someone who likes to, examine my foundational beliefs quite frequently, which leads to a lot of turmoil, right? But I'm always looking for improvement. I'm always, the name of the channel is literally Evolve Yourself TV, right? We're here to try to help people, improve themselves and evolve and come to more peace and love and light in their lives. And you don't need to identify with it, and you have your own metaphysics and you do whatever you're going to do. But at the end of the day, my goal is that you feel a little more peaceful and joyful and centered after hanging out here and doing these meditations. All right. Okay, well, oh, Danny John is here. Hello, Danny John. Good to see you, friend. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Danny John is one of my IRL friends. She's like my best friend. She's an awesome human being. She's also from the UP, which is pretty cool. It's like one of the most beautiful places. It's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, right on Lake Superior. It's a pretty cool, and she's got a PhD in psychology. So if anyone likes in here is interested in psychology, you can always ask her some things about psychology. She's always looking at me and she's like, man, I have a PhD in psychology, and everything I've learned is that from everything I've learned. I guess what it comes down to, Agni, is that you're fucked. That's what she says to me. She says, yeah, you are the exception to the rule. Everyone else is going to be okay, but you are pretty much fucked. So she tells me this all the time, and it makes me feel good. And then I cry myself to sleep at night, and then we call it a night, right? So that's it. Oh, man. All right. So Baba Boy is redeeming messages wanting me to say a word. Now, when someone does this, it's going to be like the beginning of a joke, right? So I'm going to say I'm going to say the word, and now we're all expecting the. Is it going to be vodka D's nuts or something? All right, vodka. Here we go. Let's see. Take your guesses. We should have done the poll first. We should have done the poll first to see what the punchline was going to be. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Does anyone know it? Does anyone know what Baba Boy's punchline is going to be? I feel it coming. It's got to be quick. It's got to be quick. Who's going to be the quickest? I haven't heard this one. Does anyone have it, or is he still here, or she still here? All right, now I'm pissed. I'm pissed that the punchline didn't come. All right, I thought we were gonna have that punchline. I thought we were gonna have it. But anyways, okay, all right. Yeah. Anyways, okay, where are we at here? Yeah, I've already been canceled, Noger. You were talking about canceling. I've already been canceled. I've been canceled once, and now I've had to make my debut. I've had to come back. Yeah, Nogra, what the fuck? I was so pissed, man. Like, the trolls should at least have the patience to wait around. You know what? If that troll was gonna be in one of my meditations, he would have cultivated the patience to be able to hang out and deliver the punchline. This is real. Like, I think this is the first troll that's really pissed me off. I think because he started the joke and then he left. Like, you can't do that. Like, what kind of troll is that? That is the laziest goddamn troll I've ever met in my life. I'm gonna DM him. I'm gonna have to DM him and ask him what the punchline is. Like, because this is ridiculous. But then it won't be as fun. Then it won't be as fun. All right. Well, whatever. You know what? You win some, you lose some, and that's just how it goes. All right. Okay, all right. So anyways, I always come out here, I'm fucking full of intensity, right? I'm ready to go. I'm like ready. Aristotle, Chad guy, or not Chad guy, but who was it? Who was talking about wrestling? Yeah, the new Chad guy, a discernment who is it? Discernment Bugatti, right? You asked Aristotle who he'd want to wrestle or something the other day, or like who would be a formidable wrestler. And Aristotle, you were talking about me, like you were saying, yeah, Agni might be like a challenge, right? Because I feel like Aristotle would be a fucking beast to wrestle because he's got that wide, big fucking frame, and you can just tell that he's got power in him. He's got that calm face. See, I have the intense face, but but he's got the calm face with power. I got the intense face with power, and like sometimes calmness is like water, and it just overtakes the intense face, right? So I feel like Aristotle would be a very intense person to wrestle. But anyways, yeah, so like where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I always come out here really intense, and I'm like a fucking pro wrestler on crack, right? I'm like ready to get people like fired up and ready to get people into action and like ready to like go chop off Elon Musk's fucking head and like give all his money to like charity, right? But can I say that? Then we slow things down. And come to a place of perfect love and peace within our hearts, so that we can share that love with all those whom we encounter. Find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes. And take a few slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that rings every 2 seconds. And you can use it to help regulate your breath count. So take a few more slow and deep breaths on your own. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, slowly lowering your abdomen. Focus on your breath. Inhale, raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in, raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountain peak. Watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds float together and merge into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. These clouds move through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being and exist for a while in conscious awareness before disappearing from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Keep your attention on your breathing. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing over the horizon, and return your awareness to your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Keep your attention on your breath. Your essence is love. Your love is manifested as light. Your purpose is to awaken the memory of light in others. So they will in turn spread their light to those they encounter. One by one, each person will remember their own light. until all of humanity is glowing radiantly as one once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Keep your attention on your breathing. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing from conscious awareness. And return your focus to your breath. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love emanating from this location. And the warmth which surrounds this love. Experience the perfect peace residing here. For I swear you are worthy of it. Allow yourself to feel the joy emanating from this location. For I promise you are deserving of it. Our foundational essences being identical, how could I ever hate your true self? Why would I ever attack your true nature? For by doing so, I only attack myself. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which hinders your evolution. Keep your focus on your breathing. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. And return your awareness to your breath count. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of consciousness. All the way down to your center point. The place inside you where your essence flows the strongest. The place inside you of perfect monism. Separations and divisions cannot enter here. For that which is eternally one and all-encompassing can have no boundaries. Fear of any kind is not welcome here. For this place is filled maximally with eternal love. That which is maximally full cannot contain anything else. Stay focused on your center point. Observing any sensations you may experience here. Keep your attention on this center point. And when you're ready, travel through. I'll see you on the other side. Here, at your center point, you remember your true identity. At your center, you recall how you came to be. Here, at your center point, you remember your divine purpose. To spread love and light to all of those whom you encounter. Knowing at their core they are the same as you. It is only ego which makes you appear different. Being love, you flow eternally from the source of all creation. Why not recognize your divine inheritance? Inhale, traveling deeper into your love. Exhale, releasing all toxicity from your body. Breathe in, venturing further into your love. Exhale, feel the radiating joy from your center. Breathe in, taking in all of this perfect love. For this was given to you for eternity. This place is your eternal home. And fear cannot enter here. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing any residual fear from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to this worldly form, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred space with me. I am honored and humbled to be here with you as your meditation guide. I hope you feel more peaceful and relaxed. I hope you feel more centered and grounded. And I hope you feel more joyful and loving than you did prior to the meditation. And most importantly, I hope you're able to take the peace and love from this meditation with you into the world and share it with those whom you encounter. I view each one of you as I view myself. And at my foundation, I view myself as unconditional love. Therefore, I view you as unconditional love, and I love you unconditionally. All right, how was that for everyone? Let's see, that was a 36-minute meditation, which is great. That's a great amount of time to do a meditation. I feel way more in tune, way more centered, and just relieved. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my chest. Before the meditation, any of you who were there saw that I was pretty worked up. I'm a lot more relaxed now. Let's see. Ann Fernal, hey friend. You say it was nice to end the night like this. Friends, great company. You're off for the night. Everyone sleep well and have a great day tomorrow. Thank you for the energy, Agni. Well, thank you, Ann. Ann is a wonderful person. She's a streamer here on Twitch. I highly recommend, if you want some good vibes and just a great community to hang out with, go check out Ann Fernal. Drop her out. She's just a wonderful, wonderful, kind, loving human being. And Noger, same thing with you, man. Dude, I love Noger, man. He's bringing philosophy to the masses. He's on here. He's coming out here on Twitch. He's read 300 or so philosophical journal articles to the Twitch world. A lot of people have never had exposure to academic philosophy. He just comes out here like a warrior. I view you as a warrior, man. You are relentless, dude. You're just coming out here day in and day out, and you're reading philosophy, man, and you're going through these articles, and you're giving honest, good critiques of these articles and offering good comments and feedback, man. And you're battling through it. It's a tough fight, man. It's a tough fight. Most people don't come to Twitch for philosophy, but you're doing it. You're bringing it. So any stray guy who or any stray woman who just wanders upon your stream, who comes in here, is checking out Call of Duty, and then just happens to be searching through some stuff and finds you, is like, whoa, what's this philosophy thing? What is this? What is philosophy all about, right? And they wander into your channel, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're obsessed, they're hooked, and they're like, this is amazing. This is changing my life. I'm asking better questions right now. I'm thinking more deeply about nature and reality, and this has been a fruitful endeavor, right? And you do this, man. You do this. It's so awesome to see what you do. So check out Noger. And probably unmotivated. Well, welcome in, and thank you so much for the follow. And it's your first time to you say thank you. You will return again. Well, it is so awesome having you in. It's always cool when someone gets to experience one of these meditations for the first time. And I'm just grateful to be able to have this medium to be able to share this with you. I've run guided meditations for the last 15 years. I used to do it out of my home. And now I still am doing it out of my home, but I get, the worldwide audience. So it's pretty cool. There's something to be said about having people over at your home too, which is very nice, right? They come in, we drink some tea, we talk, we do some stretching, and then we meditate. But this is awesome. I'm able to connect with people who might otherwise not have had exposure to meditation. So I'm grateful that you're here, friend. All right, and Christine the Bean, let's see. Yes, awesome. Thank you for all your support and your kindness. You've been around since the beginning, Christine, and you're so much appreciated. I'm just really honored to have you as a friend and an IRL friend. Those of you who don't know, Christine the Bean is a very talented acupuncturist, actually. She actually studied in China. She's super talented. I've had her acupuncture before, and still gives acupuncture to my aunt, to people in my family. It's pretty amazing. She pretty much has maybe saved my aunt's life. I mean, it's amazing what she's done. Definitely reduced her anxiety and her stress, and she's a saint. So thank you. Let's see. Okay, and probably unmotivated. You say, well done. Well, this is what I do here. I come out intense and do a lot of jibber jabber and I just rant and rave and talk about anything and philosophy. I play chess. Sometimes good chess. Sometimes I give chess lessons because that's what I do for a living. IRL. And then we do philosophy and then we do other stuff too. Sometimes we do chakra balancing, and we read from this book, which is one of the greatest books ever written, in my opinion. IMO, Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, and But tonight we're gonna keep it chill. We're winding things down. I'm feeling way more peaceful. So we're gonna end there. No more intensity tonight. Okay, so now is a fun time because we get to spread the love that we found in this meditation. And this is literally the point of these meditations, to access it within ourselves so that we can give it to others. So let's see who's out there in the Twitch world. Stick around for just a minute so we can say hi. Or if you like what they're doing, stick around a little longer. If you are a subscriber, you can copy and paste this raid call. Raid sign, I don't know. For some reason I call the raid sign a raid call and a raid call a raid sign. I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of emotes on the screen, right? So you can copy and paste this. If not, just tell the person hi and just be positive. We have a lot of people don't realize streaming is not as easy as you might think, especially people who engage with the audience. Like Aristotle. He's a pro. He's a complete pro. He's really good with engaging with people out there, and And by the way, Aristotle and Shane McInnes, thank you again so much for the raids. You guys were awesome. That was super kind of you guys to get the double raids like that was ridiculously nice of you. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, cool. All right. Actually, we got to. So one of my buddies is streaming. Well, I call him a buddy. Well, I call a lot of people buddies. He's a musician. I like supporting the arts, the music and the arts and all that. So he has a character limit on his on what you can post. So instead of a long raid sign, we're gonna do a shorter one. As soon as I actually get this out there. And and basically he's a cool musician, so spread the love and light to him. His name is Spirit Music, and he's talented. Anyone it's tough being a musician and an artist out there in the world. It's tough to make a living. So we try to support them when we can. And we're gonna give him a raid right now. Thank you all so much for being here. Without you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be streaming guided meditations. I'd be sitting over there against the wall underneath the Amitabha Buddha by myself. It's way better being able to share it with all of you. So I appreciate you all, and just be kind try to be kind to the people around you. That's it. At the end of the day, all my metaphysics can be reduced to that. Just try to be a little bit kinder and to the people around you. Namaste.